What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for a new episode of our College Football Revamped rebuilds. And based from the comment section on our last rebuild, which was Coastal Carolina, if you missed it, go check that out. Every single time we're getting like 5 schools that a lot of people are feeling that we should do, and I kind of pick not always the most popular one. I'll pick the one that might be the most intriguing at the time, maybe the most contrast to the school that we did before, so it's always a different experience. And I've decided we're going to take a look here at the number 19 ranked, as we open up here in college football, Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Golden Gophers ended 2019 as like, man, is this becoming like a fringe elite program? And then in 2020, it's COVID. I don't want to hold too much against it because it's a really weird and difficult season. They were very much an underwhelming team. Tanner Morgan had 7 touchdowns, 5 picks in 2020. And you would say that entering the year, he was like one of those guys, like, where is he going to play himself into the 2020 quarterback rankings? Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, they're always going to be like the top 4. But like, is Tanner Morgan going to be the guy that gets discussed with the Kyle Trasks and the Mac Jones of the world? And he was very, very underwhelming. And he returned. So I'm hoping for this rebuild, as he enters as a redshirt junior, we'll be able to convince him to stay as a senior, and he'll be one of the premier quarterbacks in NCAA, which is very important because we've seen firsthand with Coastal Carolina, if you have a very good quarterback, it can compensate for a lot of weaknesses on your squad. Running backs, we have probably the best playmaker that they actually had on the field in 2020 in real life was Mohamed Ibrahim, who had over 1,000 rushing yards. Really solid playmaker, 96 overall as a junior. Again, another player much like the quarterback. I hope that we can convince him to return as a senior if they do start thinking about the next level. As always, for these rebuilds, we have, if they're getting a round 3 draft grade or above, we let them go. If it's below a 3, we will convince them, or at least try our best to convince them to stay. As you can see with Ibrahim, not a lot of depth behind him here at running back. Wide receivers, Rashad Bateman opted out for 2020, but for the sake of this rebuild, he is here, and he's very much being considered, at least I would say, a fringe first-round draft pick in the 2021 NFL draft. When I watch Rashad Bateman play, kind of feel like he's the jack-of-all-trades master. Now, there's not one thing I really think he's truly elite at, but he's very good at pretty much everything you want a wide receiver to be good at. His route running's good. His hands are solid. I think he has the size that he can line up in the slot. He also has the size that he can line up on the outside. He's just a really good playmaker that I kind of view as like a good wide receiver too in the National Football League. And also, don't sleep on Chris Autman-Bell. He's another guy, made a lot of plays for them this year, has some ridiculous catchability. And I kind of liken this a little bit to when I was watching Myles Garrett at Texas A&M. When I was watching Myles Garrett at Texas A&M, everyone was watching him because he was supposed to be this generational defensive end, which he ended up being. However, when you'd also watch them play, you would see Deshaun Hall on the opposing side of that Texas A&M D-line. And I was like, man, that guy's popping. This guy's going to be good. And I mean, Deshaun Hall, he was a preseason all-star one year for Philadelphia, and it didn't work out well. But I kind of have those vibes with Autman-Bell. You watch Minnesota to see Rashad Bateman, and then there's this guy here, wide receiver 7, that's just continually making plays on tape. So we have 2 really solid wide receivers here. The depth beyond that is not amazing. Jackson, Emmeline, and Brown Stevens, at least they're all freshmen. So, like, they're eventually going to be pretty good. There's just going to be some growing pains at the wide receiver spot. Tight ends, nothing really to write home about. Nothing too great there. The O-line generally is very solid. 87 left tackle, 78 guard, 87 center John Michael Smits. At right guard, we have Olsen, 88, and Andrews at right tackle, 88. So it's a very strong offensive line so that we can rely on the run game of Ibrahim. Defensively, it's a good and bad. Boye Mafe, 87 overall. He was probably the best defensive player on the front 7 anyways for Minnesota last season. And again, as a junior, I'm going to be hoping and praying that we can convince a lot of these guys to return for their senior season because the drop-off in depth on this Minnesota team is not great. Interior's not really anything good also. Got to keep an eye on that. That's definitely where we want to look to try to land some big recruits. Linebacking core is not great either. We have Cody Lindenberg, 71, freshman, will start at left outside linebacker. Sorry, Marin, 73, 72 for Une. It's not great. So we're going to hope these guys have to develop and they hit the ground running. In the secondary, we have Coney Durr, 87. Benjamin St-Juste, 88. My Canadian brethren, who's one of the big-time risers from the Senior Bowl that just happened last week. He's definitely played himself into... He's definitely going to get drafted now. And I'm thinking you probably could say 5th round, 6th round, somewhere in that range. Teams are going to fall in love with his length, 6'3", 205 pounds. Rest to say, I mean, it's not bad. right? The safeties, 76. We have a 78. It's not great. We're probably going to struggle to contain some of the bigger teams in the conference. But generally speaking, it's a very interesting roster. It's a very interesting team with a head coach that has some pretty decent amount of hype around him. PJ Fleck is a guy that I think for sure, if he can get Minnesota back in 2021, it's only going to be a matter of time till he gets a premier job, I think, in college football. So we're going to roll the boats. We're going to try to kick off recruiting and have a hell of a time. I'll set up the board. We'll be back in just 1 second. And oh my God, we already have some guys locking in now. Of course not. Hopefully, we can get someone on the defensive line, someone on the linebacking core, someone on the back end at safety that's going to be a big-time playmaker for us next season. Also, I was like, why isn't he Daniel Filet, the massive human being, 6'9", 400 pounds, like the closest thing in college football to, like, you know, maybe Jordan Mailata on the Eagles. They actually have him suggested to be a red shirt here. So I'm like, sure, whatever, man. Like, we didn't have the opportunity to position switch, and we'll figure out a way to get him involved next season. Hopefully, he does not try and transfer. That would be annoying. Looking at our recruiting board, again, because we're using realistic recruiting classes, some guys are pretty much already committed. Our board's not amazing. It's not terrible. We're probably going to end up having, for sure, a top 50 class. A couple 4-stars for sure that we're going to be able to lock in. No one's truly elite. Corey Justice, probably the best looking player that we can land given our weakness at free safety. He's already a 73 overall, and we have a big lead over Kent State. But generally speaking, we have, there's no S-tier recruits or something like that. Maybe Jacoby George could potentially develop into that type of playmaker for us, but there's some big mouths to compete against Bama, Notre Dame, Ohio State to secure that signature. But it looks like it should be a solid recruiting class. So let's get into the 2020 season. So at the end of year one, you would have liked to see us being in the conference championship game. In real life, shortened season, went 3-4. We went 6-6, which, that's not really what we were looking for, given the fact that we're not going to have Rashad Bateman next season. Kind of looking at our schedule here, who beat us? We lost by 1 point to Michigan State. We beat Wisconsin, which is nice. They were struggling this year. We beat Penn State, ranked. We got smoked by Indiana, 41-17. We beat Nebraska. We lost to Northwestern. That's an annoying loss. At least we haven't had anything super egregious. Lost to Michigan. They're a tough team. We beat Iowa, who I'm pretty sure was ranked at the time. San Jose State, that seems weird, but they're actually a pretty good program. Still don't want to be losing that one to San Jose State. We lost to Coastal Carolina. We already know they're a juggernaut. Gotta be better, man. Gotta be better. Statistically speaking, on the year, Tanner Morgan was fine. 23 touchdowns, 7 picks, better than what he did in real life in 2020. 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns for Mohamed Ibrahim. That's a really good year from our premier player. Rashad Bateman as well, 79 catches on 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. We'd like to see more from Autman-Bell, but our passing offense just wasn't really that prolific. Defensively, Otemueo finished with 65 tackles, 13 TFLs, 2 sacks. We got 3 sacks from Sori Marin. And 3 picks, Philip Howard Jr., the junior. Okay, that'll be good knowing that we can get him back. Only 1 pick, St-Juste. Would have liked that to be a little bit better, but it is what it is. We probably still will be in a bowl game, so let's figure that out. Javonte Williams from North Carolina got himself a Heisman, very closely to him and Najee Harris from Alabama. We're going to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl to take on the 6-6 Georgia Bulldogs. Probably won't be too easy. I expect Corso's taking them as they have the advantage in every category. Outside of offense, you look at the major stats, we are also beating them. Points per game, total offense, rush offense, pass offense. We might be able to upset them here. We went toe-to-toe. Wasn't the result we wanted, but given the powerhouse Georgia, always top 5 recruiting classes, the fact that us on a down year kept it within 1 score, they had to get a touchdown in the 4th quarter to win it. That gives you a little bit of confidence. Tanner Morgan, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Solid game for him. We just could not stop Zamir White and running the ball against Georgia, but that's, I don't think we're getting fired. I guess we should have for sure a year 2 with Minnesota. And they're giving us another contract. Gonna get 8 wins. Our security's low, so next year, 8 wins or we're most likely getting fired. And for our players leaving, we knew we were going to lose St-Juste and Bateman, the seniors. Morgan declaring as a junior, as well as Derrick, but they're both 7-rounders, so we can absolutely try and get them to return. And there we go. We got them both coming back. That is pretty huge for our program. And for National Signing Day, our first recruiting class with Minnesota, 27. I was shooting for top 50, and we almost got top 25. No 5 stars, unfortunately, but we did get a couple 4s. Justice at free safety, Moorhead at athlete, Green at wide receiver. Couple 3 stars filling out the roster, as is such. But hopefully we have a bounce back year next year. Start working on the reputation. See if we can get this school up to a 4-star prestige. I think we might have a better chance at landing some 5 stars. This is something I've never seen before. Brandon May, who's a 71 overall athlete, right? Looks pretty good, right? And I was like, all right, where's he going to play? 72 safety, he can play linebacker, he can kind of do it all. 6'5", 225. And then 80 running back. I've never seen a jump like that for an athlete. Brandon May, I think we have our successor to Ibrahim after he leaves after this season. We kick off year 2, the 2021 season, with very much our job security hanging over our heads here. It's going to be tough. I did not actually use real recruits for this year. I had an issue. I tried to update it. And I don't know, whatever reason, the update's not working. I probably just have to go re-download it, but like, whatever. I'll just use the generated players. It's honestly a teeny bit easier. So here's what our big board. I mean, we're in on a 3-star quarterback that we scouted. It looks pretty good. Norris Garcia is a 73. We're leading here on a 4-star wide receiver, Todd Griffin. I wish I could give him more than 80 points, but I got to allocate big-time bucks here to Greg Jones, who's 6'4". We're just behind Notre Dame in 2nd place. But when you're 6'4" with 94 speed, 93 acceleration, I got to find a way. 88 route running. Like, this guy is an absolute stud. I actually might have to give him more points. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, I hate that we're like, okay, we'll get this guy up to 100. Like, we're going to have to shave off points for some of these players. Like, we're not going to get the JUCO guy. We're already pretty far behind Wisconsin. Let's be honest. If you want a lineman, you're most likely going to be chilling with the Wisconsinites. So let's give him a scholarship here. We'll max out his points at 6 hundo. We're trying to get, but this is going to be a good recruiting class, especially if we can hit it here. We're trying to go big here on D-tackle. Tommy Lawson, 4-star, number 2 D-tackle. We're on his top 5. That's going to be tough to gain that ground there. So we will have to cut our losses sooner than later. My God, there's a lot of white corners in a generated NCAA draft class. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're actually leading right here on a 5-star athlete, Kendall Vincent. We got to scout him a little bit more, but as you can tell, looking at it a little bit, he's probably going to be like a corner safety, somewhere in that range. His tackling's a C. His zone coverage seems to be fairly good. Yeah, it's interesting to see how that guy fully comes up. But it looks like it's going to be an outstanding draft class. And if we can hit on most of those guys, we are absolutely going to end up with a top 20 recruiting class, if not higher, if not top 15, maybe even French top 10. So here's our squad. We have the senior Tanner Morgan, impact playmaker, 93 overall. At running back, Ibrahim returned for his senior year. He is a 99 overall. We have true freshman Brandon May, the athlete, who's one of the best athletes I've been able to get. He's going to get a lot of snaps there as running back 2. Tight end, Autman-Bell has his chance to take over for Rashad Bateman as our wide receiver 1. The rest of the room, it didn't develop as much as I thought during the offseason training, but it's still not brutal. Tight end, still an issue for our team. Offensive line is very good. 92, 85 for a massive human being, Daniel Falele. 95 for Schmitz at center. It's a veteran line. Everyone is almost a senior. So we really, this is going to be our chance to at least build up some good job security. And I'm hoping for at least 10 wins, 9, 10 wins, somewhere in that range. Mafe at DN, 94 overall. He's an absolute beast. We had Niles Pickney, the transfer from Clemson. I really wish transfers wasn't as random in NCAA. I wish there was actually a transfer portal and I could sell guys and pitch guys to come. And, the new EA college football game, gotta have that. But we got Niles Pickney. That's a huge get there for our defensive line. Linebacking core still not great. No one above an 80. In the secondary, Derrick is a 92. We got Philip Howard, who led our team in interceptions last year. He's an 81. He's better than his rating indicates. 82 at free safety, and at strong safety, an 82 as well. So it's not bad. We're still a solid team. We're not a powerhouse. We're not a juggernaut. But I am gambling that because we have a very good quarterback in Tanner Morgan, 93 overall, we are going to get our 8 target wins and have some nice job security to finish out this rebuild for a full 5 years with Minnesota. Also, it would be pretty nice to play in a conference championship. Well, this was supposed to be our probably final last big year with these guys that we have that are known Minnesota Golden Gophers, and they put in the work, man. Number 3, we're on the outside looking in, and a lot will fall on this game. We're the number 3 team in the country. Who was our one loss? I hope it wasn't a bad loss. I hope it wasn't like an FCS loss or something like that. That would be pretty frustrating. We smoked Purdue, smoked Navy. We already beat Michigan. We beat Nebraska. Who did we lose to? Iowa. 7-5 too. Like, they're a good team, but we're undefeated to that point in the year too. That's a little disappointing. But we have the conference championship game. We're gonna. I don't know if I want to hop in and play this or not. We'll sim it. We'll hop in. We'll get front row seats. Maybe we'll fringe Papa Bear, which if you don't watch my other videos, Papa Bearing, just like a good, proud Papa Bear watching over his young. I'm going to watch over this team that I've curated and built and developed. And at some point, they become a punching bag. I'm going to be a proud pop. I'm going to step in. I'm going to protect my young, and I'm going to interject myself in the game. But hopefully, we can handle Michigan and find a way to become at least sneak in one spot in the national. Ball State! What? Ball State? What? All right, it's Michigan. I found out we played like Coastal Carolina. We played Michigan. We played a lot of teams that we've already done rebuilds for very long. Zach Charbonnet, who actually transferred, I think, to like UCLA or something, gets the opening touchdown. We're able to go down and equalize. Come on, we know we could beat them. We know we can beat them, baby. We're going trade for trade, blow for blow. This is a heavyweight bout. And it looks like it's going to be one of those games. Anytime they do something, we'll do something. If they do 3-0, we'll do 3-0. Until there. Oh, no. Michigan is coming on hot here. We're on the last 2 drives, 0 points. Michigan, they're scoring points pretty well. There we go. We got a chance to come back. Come on, come on, come on. Fuck. Come on! We're gonna piss this one away. We're gonna fucking lose, and Ball State's gonna go in the champ. This is probably gonna be I'm not gonna say as good of a chance, but we're gonna be headed for a little bit of a down year, I think, next year. And we couldn't beat Michigan, man. That's depressing, honestly. Knowing that we just beat Michigan a day before, knowing Michigan is one of the most overrated programs in all of college football. It wasn't Morgan's fault, though. This was his final game, less a bowl game that no one's really going to care about. I mean, he tried his hardest, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was just our defense. They did a great job. We didn't run the ball at all. We didn't utilize our best playmaker, only 7 rushing attempts. That is not great. He did get after it in the receiving game, though. Our leading receiver, 86 yards and a touchdown for Ibrahim. Just defense. Defense was very, very poor. It's an annoying result, man. End of the year, Ibrahim runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, losing out to Tank Bigsby, who's really, really good for Auburn. See Damian Pierce from Florida, Spiller from Texas A&M. I don't know who the Army guy is. That's just, it is what it is. We ended up finishing the number 6 ranked team. We're taking on BYU in the Orange Bowl. At least that's like, kind of a big bowl game. If we can win that, that'd be some okay momentum to carry into the new era of Minnesota. Not having Morgan, not having Ibrahim, and obviously no more Bateman, no Autman-Bell. A lot of the big names are going to be gone. Those are the air. Hey, congrats, Morgan, for the best QB rating. Ibrahim got rushing touchdowns in the school season, shattering. He hit 29. That's filthy. 42 for his career. Tanner Morgan, most passing yards in a school season, breaking his own record in 2019. Same for passing touchdowns. Autman-Bell breaking Tyler Johnson's receiving record just by a little bit. We won the Orange Bowl. I don't want that added in my trophy case. I want to see. Let's look at everything here. So let's see the Orange Bowl. Then we'll look at our regular season stats and head off into the offseason. So we're able to beat BYU. A close one, 38-31 in this game. Tanner Morgan, clean. 388, 2 touchdowns. Ibrahim, if it's his last game, which it is, because, unfortunately, he's a senior. That's huge, man. 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he should be like a fringe first-round pick. He is very good for us. Statistically speaking, Tanner Morgan, how did we lose to Michigan? Like, Tanner Morgan was like the best QB in college football. 40. How is he not even on the Heisman list? Almost 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, 7 picks. You got big shoes to fill, Zach Annickstad. Huge year from Ibrahim. That might actually be the best sim year so far out of all the revamped rebuilds we've done. Autman-Bell also very good. Almost 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. Dylan Wright, the redshirt freshman. I love seeing that. Already up to an 85 for a freshman. 66 catches, almost 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. That makes me feel pretty good about what we have in terms of depth going into next year. Oliver led the team with 85 tackles, 10 TFLs, 3 sacks, 4.5 sacks, 17 TFLs from Otomuo. That's... Hey, he's gone after this year. Don't pronounce it ever again. Niles Pickney, the Clemson transfer, was also solid. 2 picks. Jordan Howden leading the team. So we finished number 5, which is good. We came into this year worried about our job security. Needed 8 wins. We got 12. So hopefully that buys us a little bit of time, because I do think next year, year 3, might be a little tough in terms of just replacing the guys that we're going to be losing this year to the draft. Oh, man. Well, that's also, oddly enough, with Minnesota, this is our best class of seniors in terms of draft. Mafe, the left tackle here, and Tanner Morgan, all projected to be first-round picks, as well as Ibrahim. 2nd round for Andrews, 3rd round for Durr, 4th round Smits, 5th round Olsen, 6th round Niles Pinkney. Jesus. And even, I mean, honestly, I would throw Autman-Bell there. He should be a draftable player. Congrats. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Appreciate it. I swear to God, I didn't watch Param Crow's recruiting tutorial video, but we came in with Minnesota last year, number 27 in the recruiting class, and we got the number 1, and that is including a devastating loss. We lost a 79 overall corner on the last day to Marshall, even though I gave him like 1,000 points. We got 2 5-stars here, Vincent and Jones at wide receiver. That Jones guy, I think, has a chance to be an all-time great. It's amazing draft class, man. I'm recruiting class, whatever you want to call it. We had studs, we had gems. How do I see like the actual board here? You guys gotta see this. Like, I don't want to dap myself up too much, and I still cannot believe we lost him, Sean Franklin. Very disappointed with that. But we had a couple guys that are just absolute gems. I don't know why it wouldn't let me show it, but I remember, like, one of the all-time greats is going to be this quarterback. 3-star, 74. Outstanding. Like, 3-star, that is a higher rating than some of the 5-star quarterbacks in this year's class. Norris Garcia, watch this guy. Year 5, Norris Garcia could be our guy that brings us to the national championship. Remember this moment. We get a pretty good benefit of the doubt, even though we lost so many guys to the NFL. We still get to open up this year as number 5. Before we look at the team, let's look at our recruiting board. It's not as cheesy as last year's was. I thought last year it was a lot more easier. And I was very happy with our quarterback that we landed. The fact that we have a chance to get the number 1 quarterback in this year's class between us, Michigan, for Tim Parsons. Yeah, we're going to try to go in there. We got a bunch of other 5-stars over time. We got a repeat as the top team in the class. So we're pretty much going heavy on the 4-stars, the 3-stars, only maybe if they're JUCO. 5-star athlete there, Brian Jackson, 5-star Schuler. We do have a good JUCO wide receiver, though, down here. Antoine Weisbecker, 78 3-star JUCO, leading him right now. So hopefully we can maintain some of these guys. Wouldn't be upset, though, like we get kind of blown out of the water for some of these linemen that we're spending a lot of points on, and then we can just make sure we land up the skill position players. But I'm pretty happy with that initial recruiting board. For our actual team, it's not bad. I'm not overly worried. We got Annickstad, who's an 88. You can win with an 88 for sure. Running back room, we got a lot of depth here. Brandon May, the sophomore, 6'5", 227. Weird build for a running back, but he should be fine. Wide receivers here, Dylan Wright, who had a very good year last year as a redshirt freshman, was our second best receiver behind Autman-Bell. He's up to a 91, which is good. He's going to have to lead the group. Tight end still, we've had average tight ends, but Henderson here is a redshirt sophomore. He's going to be good if he stays here until he's a senior. He'll be like high 80s, low 90s. Falele left tackle, 87, 87 guard, 87 center, 89 right guard, and 82 right tackle. So generally speaking, one of the better offensive lines in college, probably one of the best offensive lines in the Big Ten. D-line is not as good, definitely not as good, but it's not, a glaring weakness. You can win with that. Linebacking core is actually as good as it's been. This is our best linebacking core so far. Secondary, solid. Fleming, 85, 82 for Plus, 80 for Smith here. Free safety, Tyler Newbin, 87. Strong safety, you know, just a bunch of guys, to be honest with you. Our special teams is not too shabby as well. So I don't know if we're going to finish as number 5 and all said and done this year. I think this is a little bit of a transitional year, but let's make sure we hit on our recruiting. And, you know, who knows? We might surprise some people. At the end of year 2, we're pretty much in the exact same position we were a year before. Like, there's not even a Big Ten championship, is there? It's just like outright. We did lose twice. We lost to Illinois and we lost to number 9 Nebraska. Handled business, avenged our loss a year ago to Iowa. We beat Miami. We beat Michigan was ranked number 2 when we played them there. So it was an impressive season. We might not be Ball State, but we're playing pretty well. We're looking good. Oregon is there, undefeated, best team. I mean, unless they find a way to lose number 16 USC. But I feel like, I mean, Michigan's not going to leapfrog us. Maybe Florida. Florida beats Auburn, wins the SEC. We might be, unfortunately, on the losing end of where we need to be. How did we get to this point? Well, we had Annexstad, who was pretty damn productive. Almost 3,000 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 6 picks. Plus, we will have the bowl game that can pad his stats a little bit more. Brandon May, the true sophomore. This guy's a beast. This guy adds on like 15 more pounds. He might be Derrick Henry 2.0. 15 touchdowns, 1,100 yards in his first year as a starter. Receiving, Dylan Wright, redshirt sophomore, 78 catches, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. I'm just going to say, given the talent and my assumptions coming into a Minnesota Golden Gophers rebuild, this is probably been my favorite rebuild so far. In terms of just, like, what? How are these guys playing this well? 22 TFLs here for Thomas Rush. He's only an 81 overall. 3 picks. Miles Fleming, the corner, leading the team. All right, man, fingers crossed that we will find a way to the national championship game. But we have made Minnesota in just 2 years an absolute juggernaut. The Heisman winner was Tank Bigsby, who's got back-to-back Heisman trophies. That's pretty goddamn scary. So we're here. This is our 3rd season with Minnesota. And, you know, didn't think we'd be here. Number 2, I mean, Oregon clearly is the powerhouse team. Like, they deserve to be there. Corso's taken us in the national championship game, even though Oregon beats us in everything outside of pass defense, where we are 15 yards, a measly 15 yards better than them. This is going to be a very, very tough game. But, you know, I'm waiting for the adversity. I mean, I get it. The Maryland and the Coastal Carolina rebuilds, it took some time, but eventually we won. I'm waiting for, like, just that smack in the face, that expectancy that I have from playing Madden 20, Madden 19, Madden 21, where it just doesn't make sense why I'm not winning. NCAA's worked out very, very well for us. And usually, I will say that the NCAA sim is sometimes very, very savage. Very, very, you know, kind of ridiculous in a way and difficult. And you'll lose, like, you know, to FCS teams, even though you're a powerhouse. But it's been very, very favorable for us. Because it's only year 3, I don't think I'm going to hop in and play this one. We'll play the moments. Maybe we'll pop a Barrett if he gets really close and we have a bunch of 3-outs and stuff like that. But we still got 2 more years of dominance. We're only getting better. So let's see. Let's see if we can win one here against a very, very good Oregon team. So that's oddly enough for a loading screen. Kayvon Thibodeau's definitely the all-star. One of the best defensive ends, I think, for sure. Did he declare already? He might not even be there. Could be out. They have Flo, Noah Sewell, Sean Dollars at running back. You can just see, man, they are a very, very good team. This is going to be pretty difficult, but given how well we've sim, I trust my guys. I trust my guys, even though we don't have, like, any linebackers over an 85 overall. And, like, our safeties are not particularly good. And I guarantee Oregon, pound for pound, by position, is better. Like, our quarterback's not even a 90. All that doesn't matter, because you can just go, we get an interception on Tyler Show, able to counter that into just kind of field position. Yeah, I think it's going to be a rough one, fellas. Haven't got over the 50 yet. And they are just pounding the rock, up 10-0. There's an interception. Jesus. Here we go. Touchdown, Annexstad. Able to give us a little bit of juice going. The second we get the instant touchdown for the sophomore May. 72 yards for our Derrick Henry Jr. 14-10. Minnesota got the lead. They missed the field goal. We still got this lead. Oh, my God. And we fumbled it. We fumbled it on 4th down. You know how that happens? A punt fumble? I think this is over, fellas. If we can get a stop here, I'll hop in and play the final drive. Oh my God, I'm going for it. We're going for it. We got 4 verts. This is gonna get a true read. Like, what do we got? They have no star players at corner. Right is our go-to guy. Oh my God, we have him. Oh my God, go! Now he doesn't have speed, but I will take that. That puts us for sure into field goal range. Now we gotta think like, can we choose some clock up here? And like worst case scenario, we kick a field goal and tie it. Best case scenario, we can get a touchdown and they're only gonna have like 30 seconds. I would say right now, I would almost bet $100, like of my real money, if we were coming into this, that I would not win a national championship before year 4 or year 5 with Minnesota. Let alone year 3, once all of our like known seniors are gone. All right, now we're gonna start being caught. Oh, we don't even have timeouts. Okay, I definitely think we kind of screwed the pooch on this one, but don't matter. You got X. Oh my God, how was that not intercepted? We had X. That was a very bad throw. All time. That's like a Justin Fields brain fart type throw. Like when LSU and Ohio State were playing the Natty 2 years ago. I think right's going to be our guy. B. If we can get enough time. Let's scramble outside the pocket. Can we go to B? Can we maybe find X? No. Oh, we got sacked. 4th and 11. This is going to be the final play. We need something big here. Go clear out. 9 seconds. Oh my God. National championship on the line. Could just kick it. We're going for glory. Oh, let's go! Ice in the veins. 30 in Minnesota. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, baby. Let's go. I don't know. That was epic. I'll say this. Now we got a little bit of time to kill as we enjoy this epic celebration. Minnesota, we've yet to fail in a rebuild. We still have 2 more years to try to make them a dynasty. I can say that recording these rebuilds is a little bit more annoying. It's a little bit more inconvenient than recording Madden. Sim's slower. It takes longer just to get through your seasons. Like, I could probably record 2 Madden rebuilds to 1 NCAA just from the time. But I love these. Being able to hop in, play. It's actually a fun gameplay. It's nostalgic. Everything in between. These are my favorite rebuilds to do. Look at Brandon May, the sophomore, who was like the greatest athlete we've ever recruited. Remember? He was an athlete, and he was a 71 overall athlete. We converted him to running back. He was instantly an 80 overall freshman. And there we go. PJ Fleck, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Only took us 3 years. Are the 2022 college football champions. And they won it on a, oh my God. We got sacked. It was 4th down. 0s on the clock. Scrambling, broken down play. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Looking at our players leaving, we only have one that's not graduating. I mean, look at that. It's not Filet-A-Lay's gone 88. We're losing our O-line. We're losing our quarterback, but it's not like we're losing 95s, 99s. And then Dylan Wright, our redshirt sophomore, wants to declare, but he fits within the rules that we set for ourselves, the house rules, that if it's above a round 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7, I can try to get them to convince. And we got, oh yeah, he's coming back, baby. You better believe he's coming back. Let's go. Our signing day after winning the national championship, we're 2nd. Michigan beat us, but look, they padded their stats with like 3 stars and 4 stars. We have 5-star players, 2 athletes, Schuler and Jackson, wide receiver Watson, quarterback Parsons, who we took away from Michigan, Ingram at wideout. So our offense is just getting completely retooled. We have center, guard, tackle, all 4 stars, as well as a running back. It is very much retooling the offense so we can remain a juggernaut in college football for the remaining 2 years of this rebuild. The absolute disrespect as we kick off. How? Like, huh? What? Year 4, and we're starting the disrespectful 17? 17? For recruiting, I'm going with a different approach. I'm going for quality over quantity. Because once you get year 4, year 5, it's pretty much, you're not going to be able to see the full lifespan of these guys. So I just need to get the top tier players at positions we're going to be weak in, positions that we're going to be losing our seniors in, so that they can hit the ground running and maximize their development in one off season and into next year. So we're just going heavy on the offensive line, D-line there, an outside linebacker. We're trying to get some leads here on some corners. Balls to the wall, 700 points per. So as we try to develop, here's what our team's looking like. It's not a bad team. We have Cole Kramer will be our quarterback here. He is an 88 overall. At running back, we have Potts and May. I think May deserves to be our starter, though. He was sensational for us last year, but there we go. I mean, you got 4 good running backs. At wide receiver, Dylan Wright, an All-American, 97. The rest of the wide receiver core is looking fairly good. Tight end, the strongest it's been so far in this rebuild. It's been a position that's been kind of underutilized. O-line, 85, 92, 81, 93, and 87 across the board. So a very solid offensive line with no weaknesses. The D-line, we got 83 and 85, so that's combined with D'Angelo Carter, who's a 92, and we have Richter here, who's an 85. Easily the best and most talented D-line we've had. Linebacker core still a little bit struggles. We got James Gordon, the 5th. I believe that's what it is. Hot streak, he's an 88. He's pretty good. Lindenberg's up to an 88. So our linebacking core is pretty solid. Fleming's an impact playmaker, 90 overall. Led our team in interceptions last year, plus 88. Not a lot of size here, though. All these corners under 6 feet tall. Our safety tandem, 82 and 84 there for Jalen Glaze. Special teams, well, we got a hell of a punter. Put some respect on the punter. This year, though, transition year. Then again, I thought last year was a transition year because we lost all of our good players that we started with, and we ended up winning a national championship. So I have no idea where this season's going to end for Minnesota. I would say, though, we're probably going to be like a 3-loss, 2-3-loss team, somewhere in that range. And then year 4, we're in the conference champ. Like, how were we in that before? Was I just missing something? Like, I've never simmed past the championship. Okay, well, we got Penn State. For our team, Cole Kramer, 30 touchdowns, 6 picks. The successful quarterbacks, but it's always the running backs. Brandon May, based 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. On the receiving front, Dylan Wright, who we convinced to return 76 catches, 1,200 yards, 16 tutties. We got 67 tackles here from Donald Willis, 6.5 sacks, 17 TFLs from MJ Anderson, 4 picks, Miles Fleming, back-to-back years, leading the team in interceptions. So if we can handle business here, how are we? This is supposed to be a down year. We cannot lose. We cannot have adversity in this rebuild. So what? Actually, it's probably an easier way to look at our schedule here. Who have we smoked? Did we just have like a super easy schedule in regards to let's see, we beat San Diego State, beat Miami, we beat the U, Texas State was easy, we beat Iowa, we beat ranked Northwestern, beat Ohio State, beat Nebraska, beat ranked Wisconsin, beat Michigan, beat Penn State, beat Michigan State. And, okay, you're looking at this, there's a lot of close victories. Barely beat Miami, barely beat Northwestern, barely beat Ohio State, barely beat Nebraska, barely beat Wisconsin. All right, let's handle business against Penn State. Heisman Trophy winner went to Roschon Johnson. Transferred away from Texas. I knew he was Texas running back. Now he's at Arkansas. We won the Big Ten, finally. Wright won the Bolitnikoff for best wide receiver. Crawford won the Ray Guy for best punter. PJ Fleck is your coach of the year. I'll take that award. We beat the brakes off Penn State. Can I look at this? Are you going to show me the game? No, you're not? Well, let's get the recap here, because in the Big Ten championship, so last year, I wasn't paying attention there. Last year, we must have just been, I don't even know. Was it Michigan, beat us? I don't know. But, yeah, clearly the best team. Just smoked him. Kramer, 4 touchdowns. Wright had 6 catches, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's because he's the best goddamn wide receiver in college football. We have an upgrade here for our head coach as we gear up for the second back-to-back straight national championship game. Let's go all in on this for the recruiting tree here. What's Washington about? They're a one-loss Washington team. They have every advantage, even though we're tied for offense. Corso is taking Washington here in the upset, even though our defense is marginally better than theirs is. But they're the number one offense in all of college football. Who have they beat? What have they done to get to this point? Who beat them? They lost to Cal. They barely beat USC. Took them to overtime. They're pretty good. They're averaging like 35 points a game. But for whatever reason, the sim in College Football Revamped has decided that Minnesota is a juggernaut and we just don't lose games. So let's try and win our second straight national title. All right, we're in the Superdome down in New Orleans. Now let's watch this. Let's see who's going to truly be the hammer, who's going to be the nail. Washington gets the first score of the game. We're struggling here. We are struggling offensively. Our defense is doing a pretty good job considering how good their offense is. But we're able to tie it up here late in the second. Instant tutty, last play of the first quarter. Kramer to Emmeline, 17 yards for a touchdown. Go ahead. Minnesota goes in the second half with a lead. We forced the turnover. Capitalize. We had to settle for a field goal. That is a little bit annoying. But it is what it is. We still got the lead, 17-13. Washington able to go down and get a score here late in the third quarter, but we're able to equalize. Kramer to Jackson, 9-yard touchdown, fourth quarter lead. They force another turnover, and we get the tutty, 31-20. They score quickly. This is going, oh my God, we did it. We did it. They got an instant touchdown. They made it super close. But in the end, Minnesota Dynasty will not be stopped. The disrespect from winning the national title last year to being ranked from the preseason week 1, like 17th, I think. Come on, we knew we were going to be back here. Second straight national title, 38-35, Golden Gophers. Let's look at the stats here for our team. Kramer, 362 yards, 4 touchdowns. Here I thought, silly old me, that we'd have to rely on one of the quarterbacks that we recruited, and it's Cole Kramer, who was the youngest guy on our depth chart when we started this thing, being lights out. 76% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns against a good Washington defense. Run game wasn't really there. May had a touchdown. We got Emmeline, 8 catches, 124 yards, 2 tutties. Wright, 115 yards, a touchdown. That's why he is the Bolitnikoff winner. Touchdown there for Jackson. Defensively, 9 tackles, James Gordon. 1 sack, Logan Richter. And no turnovers. Outside of the fumbles, who got the fumbles here? Donald Willis and Miles Fleming, our corner, getting the fumbles, getting the job done, and in year 4, our second national title. As we close out the year, Wright has passed Tyler Johnson for career receiving yards, also career receiving touchdowns, and that was in a single season, and for a career 40 as he finishes. May, the running back, finishes with most rushing yards in the season and beat off David Cobb. I remember David Cobb way back in the day. He was supposed to be like a fantasy sleeper. Look at that, first year as a starter. Kramer breaks Tanner Morgan's passing touchdown record in a single season. Got 38. Wright has single receptions this season with 90 single receptions in a career. Passing Eric Decker, 240. This is Autman-Bell. Wright is a legend. An absolute legend. And after all that, the senior class leaving, Potts isn't getting drafted. Kramer isn't projected to get drafted, which is, I utterly think that is very disrespectful. Fleming, who's been very good for us at corner for the last 2 years, not getting drafted. As Carter, D'Angelo Carter, the D tackle, is the only guy projected. We're losing 2 guys to transfer here. A little bit annoying, but it is what it is. But we got Wright coming back for his final year at wide receiver, the GOAT. Maybe the greatest player Minnesota's ever had. Our recruiting class here, very different. We went for, quality over quantity. We signed a bunch of 1-stars because I just wasn't even trying. But as you can see, it was the 4 stars is what we needed. These are the players. We got Fountain, a D tackle, a guard, a tight end, and a running back, as well as a corner in Potts. We only really had 10 targets that we wanted. And the fact that we're able to get half, I don't even think we had 10. I think I only had 8. 5 of 8 is pretty good because we're going for quality over quantity. But look at that. We took Minnesota from a 3-star prestige school all the way up to a 6-star. Maybe I'm kind of good at this game. I don't know. So we didn't get disrespected this year, which is good. After back-to-back national championships, number 2 to open up the season. Recruiting, I'm just going to let them auto-do it because it doesn't really matter. But for our team, this is going to be, you know, flashback to very, very early in this rebuild. Remember when we had Norris Garcia, who was a diamond, 3-star quarterback, but he was a 74 overall. I said, this guy's going to be something special. Year 5, here it is. His moment to shine as a redshirt sophomore, 89 overall. Excited to see what he can do. Our running backs are outstanding. Brandon May, a.k.a. Baby Derrick Henry. Look at that, 230s, adding weight. I didn't know weight goes up here in NCAA. That's cool. Anyways, he's an All-American, absolute beast, and we got 91s right behind him. We can run the ball on anybody. Wide receiver Dylan Wright. I'm going to just say the greatest Minnesota Golden Gopher ever. Has still 1 full year left. Already 3,700 career receiving yards, 40 touchdowns. He is special. And the rest of the wide receiver core is very good. Finally have our best tight end. Austin Henderson's up to an 89. The O-line, we got 89, 88, 86, 82, and Ezra Miller here at right tackle, 92. He is also a first-team All-American. On the D-line, Ja Joyner, 89 impact playmaker. Inside a D-tackle, Tommy Lawson and Melvin Clayton, both redshirt sophomores, both first-team All-Americans. Linebacker core is not amazing, but it's led by Colton Lindenberg, who's 92. You know, that's good. Solid. Secondary, we have Victor Pless, 93. King and Scott make up the rest of the starters. 88 for Dixon the second. And strong safety, Jalen Glaze, impact playmaker, 89 overall. Special teams, we have a two-way player here. Kevin Blanks is going to be kicker and punter for our squad. I don't know. Why not, right? So let's see if we can make it 3 straight national titles for the Minnesota Golden Gophers here in year number 5, and what I will say is easily the most surprising and satisfactory rebuild we've done so far, I think. Don't know what to tell you. We're a juggernaut. Undefeated, 12-0, looking at the scores, looking at the schedule. It's a joke. We got the conference championship, looking to get back-to-back Big Ten championships. We have 8-4. At least they're ranked, 20th ranked. Michigan State, I don't think they're really going to provide too much of it. I mean, we've made Minnesota into like this. It's what you play dynasty mode for in NCAA, to just become the great. Look, we barely beat New Mexico, had to go to overtime, and after that we beat ranked UCLA, ranked Ohio State, we beat Penn State, we beat Michigan State just last week. It was close. You look at that score line, you might be inclined to say this game could be closer than expected. There could be an upset on the horizon, costing us our number 1 spot. Is there a chance, though, if we do lose, the impossible does happen, can we still go to our 3rd straight natty? Tennessee's undefeated. They got 5 Arkansas. So, I mean, there's still a chance. Absolutely. If we're 12-1, still could make it if we lose. But I do not foresee us losing. So let's sim this game against Michigan State and see if we can get to our 3rd straight national title. Oh, no. No. Gonna have to look at the box score there, but that is not what we were looking for. No, that one loss knocked us. Tennessee lost too. Number 1 and number 2 both lost their championship games. Now we have to go to the Fiesta Bowl. That's a harsh loss, though. Moorhead got the Johnny Rogers Award. He was like our backup running back. I don't know how he got that. Oh, that's lame. That is... Let's look at the box score there. What happened? That's like upset of the year. Back-to-back national championships, going for 3 in a row, undefeated, and then out of nowhere, Michigan State 28-21. You got that. I mean, you know, they dominate that 3rd quarter. 2 touchdowns to get the 2-point conversion. It was too little too late there. We scored quick in the 4th. It was a game that Garcia wasn't bad. I mean, there's only so much one-year quarterbacks that you're going to win. Like last year on national championship with a one-year quarterback. Garcia, it'd be very, very tough to duplicate that, especially with the young OC that we have. All right, let's get through this bowl game, finish out the year. We finished right, almost 5,000 receiving yards for his career. Broke his own record for touchdowns. May broke the record for career rushing yards, beating some from the 80s. Beats Ibrahim's rushing record. Kramer got his touchdown single season record broken by Garcia. Wright broke his own reception record, obviously, for his career. We won the Fiesta Bowl. Don't want to add that. That's basically, hey, you choked when it really mattered. You choked when it really mattered. I guess we are going out with a bowl victory. We beat them 45-38, high-scoring game. Into this game, Garcia 4 touchdowns to close out the rebuild. Receiving, Wright wasn't his finest performance, 41 yards and a touchdown. But it's another title. Who won? What was the natty? I wonder. What ended up playing? Let's see here. It's probably down here at the bottom, right? The national championship was Notre Dame against Arkansas. 2-loss Arkansas. How did they make it over us? We had 1 loss. I disagree. Glad they lost. I mean, that looked like an epic game, but I'm glad they lost. Here in the final year of what I think is a very good rebuild. I mean, the final season stats, Garcia finished 43 touchdowns. I mean, that's just... These guys were all eating, man. These guys were all eating. Greg Jones, remember him? Greg Jones? He was our 5-star recruit that was 6'4", with like 96 acceleration. Absolute monster. Defensively, Lindenberg over 100 tackles, 8.5 sacks, Kevin Ford, 4 picks, Lindenberg at outside linebacker. Absolute stud. How did he not get linebacker of the year? I don't know. But we end the Minnesota Golden Gophers rebuild after 5 years with 2 national championships, 2 Big Ten championships, and I think at the end, it's a very successful rebuild. We've yet to have a failure of a rebuild. So with that being said, let me know what team you want to see next in the comment section below. I'll probably have a poll come up on my community channel tab thing to, if there's a little bit of a tiebreaker that needs to be had. But make sure you let me know in the comment section below what school you want to see next in our college football revamped rebuild. I want a challenge, baby. Thought Coastal Carolina was right? Absolutely not. How many more natties do we need to win until the game is going to be a little bit critical, a little bit harsh for us? But, you know, knock on wood, that we continue just to keep on keeping on here. So thank you guys for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys back here on the next one. Peace out.